HTML to be able to design basic web pages in Dreamweaver, it's helpful to at least be familiar with it. Doing things like being able to recognize tags and add snippets to your web pages will result in more complex, impressive designs. Basic HTML is not hard to learn, and it's even easier to become familiar with it using it in Dreamweaver. In this lesson, we're going to teach you some basic HTML and then some things that you can do using your new skills to make your pages shine. As already stated in this course, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Quite simply, it's the program language used for web pages. HTML is written between tags that look like this. It's shown right here. You can look at the code for any web page and pick out the HTML by finding the tags. You can use HTML to design layouts, add images, link to files in other websites, add text, format text, and the list goes on. To help familiarize you with it, we've included a list of the common tags used in HTML. This way, the next time you look at your HTML's code view, it won't seem so foreign. In addition, once you learn a little HTML, you can use Dreamweaver as a text editor whenever you want. So take a look at what's included in this chart and become familiar with it. It may be helpful to you as you're learning to print this chart out and keep it by your desk as you're working. Listed here are not all the tags that you can use in an HTML document, but they're some of the most common. That said, a basic HTML document is organized by the head and the body. Take a look at this example to see what we mean. You'll be able to pick out these elements in any HTML page you look at. To show you the code for an HTML document, we've created a basic document here. This is what it looks like in Design View. And here's what it looks like when we switch to Code View. You should be able to determine the function of some of the HTML code using the table here, and get a feel for how an HTML page is constructed. Now in HTML, attributes are used to further define tags. For example, if you type in a paragraph tag but want the whole paragraph in boldface, the boldface would be an HTML attribute. You can have name, class, ID, align, and title attributes. Attributes allow you to modify tags so that you can completely customize a website. Without them, all websites would look the same. So this is a list of some of the most commonly used attributes. Now keep in mind that you can always use Design View as a what you see is what you get editor, and never even have to mess with the code view. However, if you want to edit the HTML code directly, simply switch to either Code View or Split View on the document bar. You can directly type in the code and make any changes that you want. Now if you decide you want to work in code, there are a few hints that will help you. As we said earlier, you can edit your HTML code by simply typing, but Dreamweaver will even help you at that point. Whenever you start writing HTML, you start by typing a tag, which we talked about earlier. This is a tag. And if you pause after you type that character, look what happens. You can see that this drop-down list opens. This is a list of HTML tags that Dreamweaver provides for you. And these are known as code hints. This is really useful because if you're not an expert with HTML, you can scroll through these code hints and select various ones to see what they're for. And don't worry, Dreamweaver will keep giving you hints as you type your tag. You can also use code hints for HTML attributes, class and ID names, and CSS properties. Now if you're working in HTML, you'll also want to get to know the code inspector. The code inspector looks a lot like the code view, but the code inspector opens in a different pop-out window. To access it, go to Window, Code Inspector. And this is the code inspector that is opened up here. One of the benefits of using the code inspector is that it allows you to view the code as you design your site without having to split the screen. It's a great option to use if you're not quite ready to write or edit your own HTML, but would like to see the code as it's being written. Now when you're finished with your document, it's always a good idea to clean up your HTML before uploading anything to the web. To clean up your HTML, go to Commands, Clean Up Word HTML. And this is the dialog box that appears. You'll select the things that you want to clean up and then click OK. And then it'll clean up the code automatically for you. Another nice feature that Dreamweaver allows is for you to create snippets. Snippets are chunks of code that are saved for you to use over and over again instead of having to type them in. Dreamweaver provides some pre-written snippets that you can use. The snippets include headers, footers, logos, scripts, and so forth. To save and use snippets, go to Window, Snippets, and it gives you a list here. And this is called the Snippets panel. You can see it's tabbed up with your other panels. You'll click on your page in the area that you want the snippet to be placed, and then find the snippet that you want. Double-click it and it will add it to your page. And if you'd like to add your own snippet for text that may not be listed here but that you use often, click down here on the New Snippet button. This will allow you to type in your code and name your snippet